I have this like printer cable just hanging right here, all professional style.
Really.
What's up, peeps? This is Sabrina Victoria. I am here with Emily Tosoni today, the Instagram guru. Thank you so much for being here. This is her talk show. We're going to be talking all about the 3 factors for growth on Instagram moving into 2026. I think this is so important because, as we all know, and I'm sure Emily hears this all the time, everything's always changing, right? Everything's always changing within the social world, and my stuff isn't being seen, and I don't know what to do, and what's the best right now. So Instagram, Emily is everything Instagram. She has dedicated her life to Instagram in order to educate women, right? Educate the women out there on how to use it and how to be profitable from it. So she has the 3 factors for growth. And I think this is the one thing we're always striving for, right? Growth. What does growth mean, by the way? Is this like followers? Is this likes? What do you mean by growth? Let's like start there.
Yeah, account growth. So how to get more followers, more views, more reach, more eyes on what you are putting out there. Yeah. So I want to start with a few stats because I like,
girl, we love numbers.
No, you do. Okay. So, and I do too, because I think a lot of people are feeling right now, I'm hearing this in a lot of networking groups that I'm in and mastermind communities, Sabrina's as well as the other one that I'm a part of, and just from my clients in general, that people are like, oh my God, I'm doing the same thing I've been doing, but I'm not getting any views. I'm not getting any engagement. I feel like it's literal crickets. I'm being consistent. So if that's you, you're not alone. We're kind of in a recession, if you will, of likes and engagement on Instagram. And I want to tell you why. And then I'm going to tell you how you can make some shifts. Essentially with these 3 factors for growth, like things you can do to start to see an uptick. So I want you to know that there have been 34% more reels posted in 2025 than 2024.
Okay, hang on. 34% more reels. That means more people are watching reels.
Well, what it means is more people are creating content and putting it out there. So we're talking, the first number here is 34% more reels have been posted.
Okay.
But views are down almost 60% from 2024. Now, this makes total sense. If there are more reels out there, then there's less views per reel.
Okay, that makes sense.
There's more content, right? And I think this is a helpful thing to hear when we, as the business owners, are like, I'm putting stuff out there, and every social media, it's not like this is just on Instagram. Every social platform is feeling this because the people who are creating content are business owners and content creators. The average person is not really creating and posting content regularly. So when you are scrolling, you're seeing businesses trying to sell to you. Maybe you're following political feeds. That's all over the place. Also, content creators, right? Like that's what you're seeing. That's the content you're seeing. You're not really seeing like your best friend from high school who has 5 kids. She's not really creating regular content just for posterity, right? Like, so I want that to kind of quell some of the like discontent you might feel around like, oh my God, Instagram is like a total waste of time. Now, the other thing, this is a updated statistic. This blows my mind. So likes are the second most important form of engagement. The first is shares. Okay, so that's different than it used to be because things change. The way we use the app changes, and that's why these things change. It's not like Instagram is like, we're going to change it up. Instagram is literally like the way the people, the humans use the app has changed. So now we're going to change with that.
Got it.
So likes are the second most important form of engagement. Shares are the first. But here's the thing. The average person is seeing close to 10,000 posts per day. I don't really know. Like, I'm going to do a bit more investigation into this statistic, but it doesn't feel wrong. Think about how quickly we are scrolling when we are scrolling through content. And the average watch time for a reel is less than 4 seconds. So it makes sense that we're seeing so much content on a daily basis, okay? The other thing to keep in mind is that the average Instagram user is following over 1,000 accounts.
Yep.
And we're only spending about 45 minutes a day average on the app. So your followers, the people who are actually following you, only see about 5% of what you post anyway. Now, I use that statistic pretty regularly, and people are like, what is the point? Why should I even do it? I understand that that's the initial feeling. And here's my response is Instagram is your living business card. It's like showing up and opening the door every day to a storefront. You need to have consistent activity and information so that your ideal client can find you and learn who you are, how you can help them, what you do, how you actually help them, like what are your offers, and so they can get to know you. And that just has to be your mentality. This Instagram is not the only place you should be actively promoting your business, but it needs to be a place where you actively promote and send people so that they are getting information on a regular, consistent basis. Okay. All that in mind.
I'm taking notes. This is great.
I love that you're like leaned in. The other thing is, if you're hearing all this and you're like, F it, like this sounds terrible. Why? Here's the statistic I really want you to log into. Instagram just recently surpassed over 3 billion monthly active users.
Wow, dude.
So 3 billion. Now hear me. There are approximately 8 billion people on the planet.
Yeah.
And approximately 2 billion don't even have access to the app because they live in countries where they can't access it. Okay. Okay. And then I want you to think about how many of the remaining billions are children or people who just, you're essentially what I'm saying is 3 billion monthly.
Everybody.
Like everyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agree.
Like everyone who can use the app is using Instagram.
Yeah, like newborn babies aren't on the app.
Right. Right. Kids, like, so when this conversation comes up of like, I don't know if it's the right place for me. Okay. I also want to honor that, like, you might not like the platform. You might prefer TikTok or LinkedIn or Facebook, whatever, but do not use the excuse my people aren't on there. The hell they're not. They are on.
They're all on there.
They're on there. They're on there. They are there. You can make an excuse. You can tell yourself they're not, but they are on that app.
I think, to Emily's point too, like I think of myself more now than ever before. I scroll, zombie scroll, whatever that's called, doom scrolling.
Yep.
And I will not interact with, like, I'll doom scroll for an entire hour.
Yep.
And not like, I'll fully watch the whole thing, hundreds of them, the whole thing, and not like any of them.
Yep.
So to that point, I think it's really important that, which we talk a lot about in H Club, we have to stop paying attention to the likes and the comments. It's like not a thing anymore.
Yes.
It was a thing back in the day. Like we were all liking each other and commenting on each other and like boosting each other up, but it's like not a thing anymore. And it's not that I like don't like it. I watched the whole thing. It's just not I just don't do it. I don't like or comment. It has to be like out of this. It has to be insane.
Yep.
And then even that, if it's insanely good, I message it to you. A lot of times I don't even like it. I still don't even like it.
And what you're getting at,
it to my mom, I send it to you, I send it to my boyfriend, I send it to my son. So exactly what you're saying. Number one, shares.
Sharing is the way most people interact with content that they like. So you're getting at the whole this feel of like people saying nobody's liking, engaging, commenting. That's not the most important form of engagement right now. It's shares. And the other thing that happens, what you're talking about, is you watch an entire reel, but you don't like it. Maybe you don't even share it. Maybe it's one that you enjoy. You like watch the whole thing, but you don't share it. The watch time on Instagram specifically, you've watched the whole thing. So what it tells the algorithm is she's interested in this type of content. So the algorithm is now likely to show you similar content or content from that same creator again. So even though on our end, us, the content consumers, we're like, oh my God, nobody liked or engaged with this, or the views weren't what I was hoping for. We can't see, well, you can see the stats in Instagram. You can look at the insights for each piece of content, especially reels specifically. You can see the watch time, like what the average watch time is compared to other reels, which is a good indicator of like how engaging was this piece of content. Did I have a good hook? Did it keep them here for long enough to watch the whole thing or whatever? But we forget that that's an important metric, that view time and shares. You can see how many people share it. And just because nobody shared it doesn't mean that it's crap content. So you might create a piece of content and be like, nobody liked it, nobody commented, nobody shared it, whatever. That doesn't mean people aren't watching it. That doesn't mean people aren't consuming it. That doesn't mean you shouldn't still create content and put it out there and then repurpose it into other places. Because again, Instagram should not be the only place where you're promoting your business. Am I going to teach you how to strategically use Instagram? 100%. Do I also teach you that it's not the only place you should talk about your business? Absolutely. Because strategically speaking, it is not, you have to have other avenues in order to nurture that connection. That's a whole nother, that's all. I do an entire training on that at our retreat on the consumer journey and why the different forms of content, how they nurture that journey, that process. Okay. So all that being said, because of all these changes, I'm going to talk to you about the 3 factors for growth directly from the horse's mouth, from the CEO of Instagram, from Adam Mosseri. And yes, please, if you have any specific questions, let us know. I'm more than happy to answer them while we are here, even if it feels like a little off topic from what I'm focused on in this conversation. So the first driving factor for growth is direct messaging, because of what we just talked about. Most people, so the number one form of engagement is shares. And where do shares usually land? In the DMs. So DMs are one of, like, that's where Instagram sees the most engagement happening. Most people are communicating with their friends, with people they know. They're sharing content in the DMs. They're having back and forth conversations. So the number one factor for growth right now is activity in your DMs.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And here's what that looks like. If you're like, okay, but how do I do that? Okay, so the first is you have DM automation set up on Instagram, DM automation. Now, DM automation is also strategically important because say you have a lead magnet and you have the link, someone can get the lead magnet. If you post that link into your caption or as a comment, it does not hyperlink like it does on Facebook or LinkedIn. You cannot click on it.
Yeah.
So you cannot do that. And hear me when I say, I don't care how short you make that link. If you speak it or type it out, no one is taking the time to, let me just set my phone right here so I can see it. And then they're not doing that shit. They're scrolling to the next thing. You have to make it as easy as possible. Decrease all of the overwhelm so that they can get the information they need from you, like just right now. Why did my fingers not make a noise? Too much lotion on my fingers. Anyway, so how can you do that? You have a lead magnet, which you want strategically so that it can guide people to your email list, or they get the thing, whether you have an email list or you have like DM automation set up where you're collecting information that way. But DM automation looks like this. You have your caption and then you say DM or comment 2026, and I'll send you the link to learn more about how to stand out.
Retreats.
Yeah. Okay. So that's another one, right? Like once you see it, you can't unsee it everywhere else, right? So like you can say DM or comment Blue Ridge to learn more about the retreat that Sabrina and I are hosting. Okay, so you're on Instagram and you see this and you're like, yeah, I want more detail. You DM me or you comment on that piece of content, Blue Ridge. I have set up DM automation with ManyChat so that as soon as you comment that word or DM me, that keyword that I've set up, you get a message right away into your DMs. And the message essentially, says like, I'm so glad, I'm so excited to share this information. I can't remember exactly what it says. Click on this link and you can learn about the Black Friday specials for the retreat. It's a simple, short message, but what has happened is you started this conversation. You DM'd me the keyword. So the algorithm's like, oh, look, you're having a private conversation with Emily. And then I message you back with an automation that you can then click on. And it will take you to sign up for, to look at the thing, to look at the website, or to sign up for whatever it is, right? Okay. So that is a simple way to get people into your DMs, where DMs are the number one factor for growth. Okay. So DM automation first. The second thing is in your stories. So in your Instagram stories, you're doing the same thing by saying like, say that you're like, talking to your phone for 30 seconds. Say you're going to do a story slide where you're talking to your phone and you're like, I'm so excited about this. I created a checklist for you and it is to help you stay consistent on Instagram. And it's totally free. You can grab it from me. Just DM me the word list and I'll send you the link. This does two things. So this gets them into your DMs and you into theirs, because then you're going to respond. The other thing it does for your story views, which is important, is that it keeps them viewing the stories, because all they had to do was tap and send you the word, and then they can keep viewing the rest of your stories. Instead of using the sticker link is great. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're in Instagram stories and it's on Facebook too, you can add a link sticker that they can tap on. But as soon as they tap on it, it navigates them away. So let's say that you're offering a lead magnet. Let's say you have a free thing and you use a link sticker and you say, tap here and you can grab the blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I want that. So I tap on it. Now I've navigated away from the platform. So if your next story slide was some juicy offer about a new thing you're launching, like I'm going to miss it because now I'm off of the app. And when I come back, I might not see it. So it also helps to boost your story views because it keeps me in your stories.
Because I'm commenting right there on the story.
Yep, because you're commenting right there. You're more likely to view my next story slide. And now I'm also in your DMs.
Got it.
The strategy of that, in your brain, you might be like, but strategically, it shows the algorithm all sorts of positive reinforcement for your profile.
Yeah.
They're in your DMs, they're watching your stuff. The click-through rate for your stories is high. Like statistically, it stays higher because I'm viewing. You want people to watch all your story slides if at all possible. Like it's a kind of a kiss of death if you have too many story slides and somebody swipes, because now they're going to the next person's story and then they miss all your other stories.
Absolutely.
There's a whole strategy. Again, that's a whole nother, there's so much behind your stories.
I also want to interject here to what Emily's saying, as far as like, if this is too much for your brain, if you're just like, this is hurting my brain. This is what Emily goes over in the retreat. So we're hosting a retreat in Georgia, right? For those of you that haven't heard of it, for those of you live, for those of you on the replay, Emily and I are going to be in Georgia, April 23rd through the 26th in 2026. We have a 4-day retreat happening for women business owners. Yeah. And one of the curriculum that she teaches is all about this. And the really cool thing, in depth, like way more in depth. And the cool thing is she's right there. She's right there, right? So when you're going through the steps and you're like, I'm stuck, there's a wall, I don't get it. What button? What does it look like? You're sitting there by yourself, right? In your bed tonight, trying to figure it out. And you're racking your brain. She's going to be right there with you to literally walk over and click and do and swipe and help with whatever it is, so that you can start to create some habitual habits, habitual actionable steps, so that you can do this at home easily.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's all like tiny,
Yeah.
it's
Nuances.
tiny tweaks, and it feels overwhelming when I'm like giving you all this information at once.
Yeah.
So being able to like sit down with us and do it while we're talking about it helps to create those neural pathways to create more of the habit, like Sabrina's talking about, doing it in person. So DMs. Let me make sure I hit all the highlights there. Okay. So the other thing to keep in mind with DMs is just like, this is part of what makes Instagram my favorite platform, to be quite honest, because the DMs are easy to use. They're easy to find, and they're so interactive. And it's not, most other platforms don't have the kind of engagement that the DMs do on Instagram. So it's really it's a huge positive.
Out of all the platforms and this strategy that you're talking about as far as direct messaging, like for instance, I do most of my direct messaging on Facebook. I know a lot of other people, on LinkedIn, but they are on Instagram, but they're having their conversations on a different app. Would you say Instagram is probably the most beneficial as far as?
I mean, it depends on where you're putting your energy. If you're not really putting much energy into content creation and like growing your account on Instagram, then like keep having your conversations in Facebook Messenger or LinkedIn or wherever. But like if you want Instagram to actually work for you, so I do this all the time. If somebody messages me on Facebook Messenger about business stuff, I'll usually try and shift the conversation over into Instagram.
So you'll find them on Instagram.
Yeah. If we're not already following each other or connected there, I'll find them there and say like, send them excuse me, I'll follow them and say like, hey, make sure to follow me over here and feel free to message me here. I usually can get back to you quicker if you message me on Instagram, which is true.
Okay.
So
I like that.
The other thing I'll say is like the growth, this is like different, but the growth factor on Facebook is just not really there. So if you are trying to get in front of new eyes with your content, Instagram is the place to be. I'm not saying Facebook doesn't have value, that you can't that you can't use the platform in valuable ways, but for growth for your business, if you don't already have a huge following on Facebook, is almost non-existent. So using Instagram strategically to grow your reach, and then using Facebook strategically to enrich those connections with Facebook groups or with the content you share there, having people follow you on both platforms, but like to get in front of new eyeballs, it's almost impossible on Facebook.
Yeah.
So
I totally get that, because on Facebook you're getting, what's getting put in front of you is the people, like when you're scrolling, it's people that you're following.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then they're following you. So you're not really getting in front of new people. So what Emily's saying is when you're on Instagram, what's that, like the homepage? You're just getting fed content from randos, but all under the algorithm of which you appreciate. So you're constantly getting put in front of new people that have never met you before, who don't know you.
As long as you are being strategic with how you create content and what you put out there. But the potential on Instagram is still higher than Facebook.
Got it. That totally makes sense.
And again, if like there are other questions about that, don't hesitate to ask. Facebook is seeing some growth right now, but it's only for large accounts that already have buku followers. And it's, so if you're like still in the beginning stages of having a very robust social media platform and using social media for growth, it will feel like you're literally just spinning your wheels on Facebook if that's the only platform you're using.
Makes sense.
So the second factor for growth is Reels. It's what short form video, which is what Reels are, is the golden standard for content now. And that's been the case for a few years, but like
Reels is, for those that don't know.
Reels are videos, short form videos, which is probably for the most part the form of content we all prefer to consume, as
Absolutely.
opposed to like long form content. And like, please hear me. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with long form content, and there's nothing wrong with like shorter form, long form content, like storytelling, like giving more depth. That's not what most people are. Most people aren't watching long enough to even hear your entire spiel or story or detail. The average watch time is like 3.75 seconds. Seconds. So, and then there was one other stat related to that I want to make sure and tell you. So the average TikTok video, and this is true across to Instagram and Facebook, is 41 seconds long, and it's only watched in full 4% of the time. So again, I don't want this to be a deterrent, but what it means, and this is how I teach my clients, the majority of your reels should be short. 5 to 15 seconds max. And your hooks have to be compelling. So no more of this like 3 tips to eat healthier. No, that is boring. I will scroll right past that. It has to be an emotion eliciting hook.
Yeah.
It has to say something like, you're exhausted every morning and you can never figure out how to get a good night's sleep because you're not eating enough. That's the hook, because that's going to make me stop scrolling. Like, oh my God, I am exhausted every morning, even after 8 hours, right? Like, it has to elicit a feeling out of me. I don't need you to talk to me like you're a professor. 3 things you can do to improve. Boring. Bye. I can Google that. If you want me to stop and watch your piece of content, it needs to be engaging. So reels are still the golden standard for content, but you have to be strategic about how you're creating reels. Reels have the best potential to reach the people who haven't found you yet. That's it. That's all. And that's what it is. Do they also offer education and information to your existing followers? Of course. You want to do both. You want to nurture the connection with the audience you have while also inviting new people in. And the best way to do that is with reels. I teach 2 different reels formats: snippet reels and talking head reels. And then there are different like categories of what you're doing. But like snippet reels are 5 to 15 seconds long. They use trending audio. They use B-roll. So like you just doing something in the background, and they have a strong hook with a simple call to action.
On the video or in the caption?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Both. Your call to action should be on screen and in the caption, and you can put it as the first comment. So after you post it, you can go and comment on your own post with your call to action, and then you can pin it.
Got it.
Make it so easy for people. And your call to action could be like this post if you found it valuable. DM me Blue Ridge to get the link to learn more about the retreat. I mean, it doesn't always have to be to get them into your DMs. You can ask for, like this if you found it valuable. Comment and tell me. So I was just talking to Sabrina. I just had brand photos done, and I cannot for the life of me choose which photo to use as my updated headshot. So I created a carousel and I posted it, and literally I just said, help, I don't know which one of these to use as my headshot. Hundreds of comments between Facebook and Instagram, because I posted it on both. Hundreds of comments. People just like jumping in there because people want to give you their opinion. They want to tell you things. So like create opportunities for them to do that.
Yeah.
You don't have to like go get brand photos done every like 2 months so that you can, but like you will find ways in your business. Yeah. Oh, you're so great. Yeah. So there it is.
I think it's important for them to see how easy this is. Like it's literally 2 sentences. She didn't write a whole long thing. She put all the pictures in here, and then look at this.
Hundreds of comments.
Yeah.
And literally I posted it on Instagram and had it cross post over to Facebook here. And I don't really do a lot for my business on Facebook, but I knew this one would get, I knew I would get a lot of, and I honestly wanted people's feedback. I wanted help, but I also knew it would get a lot of engagement because it's personal.
Yeah.
And it did. I got lots of engagement. Okay. So the other thing to keep in mind about Reels is if you have access to trial Reels, and you'll know if you do, because when you are on the screen where you're getting ready to post your reel, where you can like add your caption, add location, add music, there will be an option that says post this as a trial reel, something like that. If you have access to trial Reels, here's what you're going to do. You create a piece of content, a snippet reel, preferably. So 5 to 15 seconds, strong hook, simple call to action to a lead magnet is preferable. You'll post it as a trial reel. Trial reels only get shown to non-followers. This is how you grow your audience right now, if you have access to trial reels. The only people who can see it are people that do not already follow you. The caveat here is you have to be dialed in on your messaging. So the on-screen text, as well as in the caption, you need to be using the keywords and phrases your ideal client would use. Not vague shit like, this was a conversation I had yesterday in a mastermind where a woman said, like, one of the keywords I use is weight loss. And I was like, okay, you got to go deeper than that. Weight loss is way too vague. Weight loss, who do you work with? Women in perimenopause who are struggling with hormonal fluctuations and all sorts of sleepless nights and other symptoms. And they also can't figure out how to feel comfortable in their body. That is specific. Your messaging has to be dialed in because, especially with trial reels, when you first post, the first few times you post a trial reel, it's going to comb through every bit of on-screen text and caption text to know who to recommend your content to. And if it's vague, it doesn't know who to recommend it to.
Got it.
So you post the trial reel, but before you post it, you duplicate it. So like you get your reel all created, you save it as a draft, and then you go into your drafts and you duplicate it. So you post one to your trial reels, and then you post the duplicate to your feed. So now your followers are seeing it, and new people that do not follow you are going to see it as well because it's posted as a trial reel.
Wow.
Do that with literally just do that with every reel. If you have access to trial reels, just do it with all the reels that you post, so you can start to grow your audience and extend your reach and visibility.
Wow. Nice.
Okay. And then the last factor is recommendations. So I kind of just mentioned it there with trial reels, right? Like the algorithm doesn't know who to push your content out to, who to recommend it to, if you're not very specific. So in order for recommendations to work to your benefit, and the nice thing right now is that Instagram cares less than it ever has before about how many followers you have. The app doesn't care. The algorithm doesn't care how many followers you have in regard to like who it's going to show your content to. It just cares that your content is relevant, engaging, captivating, share worthy, and specific. If you have message clarity is where I start with all my clients. I'm like, I can teach you all the strategy you want. If your message is still like, I teach you how to communicate better, then it's not going to go anywhere because it's not specific. Who do you teach to communicate better? How? Is it with their kids? Is it with their wife? Is it with their husband? Is it with their boss? Is it conflict communication? Is it love? Like you have to get real specific. That's how your content can become recommended. And that's how people feel drawn into you and what you are offering enough to interact in whatever way, to watch to completion, to like, to share. So recommendations are the third factor for growth on Instagram, which means in order for your content to end up on the recommended, so on the explore page, recommended to someone, you have to be specific. You have to know with great clarity, you have to know the pain points you're speaking to and the outcomes you're offering in the language your ideal client would be searching for on the search page.
Yeah.
And that's how your content,
not their language.
yeah, not your language as the coach, as the not like how you would speak about it, because that's probably not how your ideal client, that's not how they are talking about it yet. You need to introduce them to that language. It's kind of like one of the things Sabrina teaches at the retreat is how to like create your signature series, right? All of that. Your signature series is great. Nobody fucking knows what it is. Nobody knows the name of it. So if all you're doing is talking about your signature series all the time, cool. Nobody's going to find you. Nobody knows what it is. What you talk about instead is the struggle that you address with it, the transformation you offer, the way you help them. And then you say, and I do all this through my blah, blah, blah series, or through my blah, blah, blah founder, whatever it is. But you have to include in there the things that would draw them in. We don't give a shit what people know until we know that they care about us or that they have something that can help us.
Absolutely.
And if your content doesn't convey that, if you can't convey in your content that you understand the struggle that they are in, that would lead them to you, and then show them the transformation, explain it to them, you will continue to be frustrated with social media, because you will be the background noise that Instagram doesn't recommend to anyone. And it's not Instagram's fault. It's that it can't categorize your content because it's too vague.
Yeah.
So the 3 driving factors are DMs, creating opportunity for direct messages, reels, and recommendations. What else? 45 minutes. All right, I'm done. Or 40 minutes. That's it. All right.
I want to share your Instagram really fast. So when she's talking about pins, this is what she means. So at any time you're creating content and you want it to be posted at the top, those are the pins. The other really awesome thing that Emily does, I mean, obviously she's the guru, so obviously she's doing this, but something that I think that we all need to start doing is, what are these called? Where you have like so
it's the cover image. You can upload cover images. And you can see if you scroll through here, I'm playing around with whether they matter or not anymore. So like you'll see there's a section there where I was doing them regularly.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm playing around again with not doing them. They really matter when people land on your profile and are scrolling through, so they know what each piece of content is about. But when you're just like scrolling through the Reels tab, you wouldn't see that cover image. It's only there, the static representation of it. So I'm playing around with, does it matter or not? Which is
personally, I think it does matter. I mean, for me personally, so I follow a lot of business coaches, obviously, when I'm looking for an answer to a certain question, I'll go onto their profile and I'll skim all of the things to make sure that whatever I'm clicking on is something that I need to learn, want to learn from this specific person. So yeah, love that. So yeah, Emily Tosoni _ follow her up, give her a follow.
Yes. Did we have any questions? I can't see. Did any questions come in?
No questions came in. Lots of people watching live. They're interested in the retreats. They're interested in the retreat. They're interested in knowing more information on what this is, where it is. By the way, we have 8 spots available now, no longer 9. So, yeah, all good things. Do you want to?
Yeah. So let's just say really, the retreat is in North Georgia in the Blue Ridge Mountains, and the location that we chose has a vista viewpoint of the Blue Ridge Mountains. And as you can see from this picture, there's a pool and a hot tub. We were very strategic with the location that we chose. There's also a stream on the property. So I love being by water, and we got great feedback about that from the retreat last year. But we also wanted to make sure there was enough space inside for us to do trainings, but also have space to spread out and do our own thing as well. It's nice to have both. And really, when we first put this together at the beginning of last year before we hosted our first one, we wanted it to be not just come and sit here in this comfy couch with us while we talk at you.
Yeah.
Because I've been in business now for 12 years. I've had a variety of different businesses as an entrepreneur, but I've been to lots of conferences, lots of retreats, and a lot of times it's just information, and I will leave with notebooks full. But that doesn't mean I do anything different, because there's a difference between like acquiring information and doing something with it.
Yeah.
So this retreat is us showing you what to do, answering your questions, and then actually doing it with you, actually implementing. Because the way to retain information is to use it. The way to create those neural pathways so that it can become a habit, and to get your questions answered in the moment while you're struggling with it, that makes all the difference in whether or not you will actually use the information that you learn. So that's how we put it together. And we got incredible feedback from the women who joined us last year because of the way we did it. It wasn't just here's what to do. It was also here's how to do it. Now do it. And then we'll help you where you hit hurdles. And that was with the storytelling experience that Sabrina led women through, like write your story, do it in groups. Now come back. Let's talk it out. Let's make some, shore it up, do it again. And it was also with, okay, I want you to create a reel right now. You're going to walk around. You're going to take video clips. Here's how to do it. And then as you're doing it and you have questions. So it's the whole gamut. It's on your computer. It's on your phone. And it's with other things. We're helping you with all of it. I will say, Sabrina's showing you right now the bonuses that you get. Feedback from all the women was that the second one on there, the 2-on-1 Zoom call that we do with you before the retreat, because our goal here is also, we don't want you to have to wait until you show up at the doors to start to get benefit from what we're offering. And really for us to give you the best experience, we need to know more about you and your business, because we know the general struggles, but in order for us to give you an intimate, individualized experience, we need to know more about like your specific business. Why are you coming? What are the struggles? What are the hurdles? What's happening? So the 2-on-1 Zoom call, after you register, we work with you and schedule a time where you get to hop on a Zoom call with the two of us. Prior to, we have you fill out an intake form to give us a really in-depth understanding of your ideal client, your messaging, your offers, all the things, so that we show up to that call. We run through all that information, and then we give you action steps that you can start doing right now before we even show up in April. So even though the actual retreat, when we come together, is not until April 2026, when you register now, you start to see differences and have the opportunity to implement changes, because we're going to give them to you right as soon as we have this first call.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add to that?
No, I mean, I feel like definitely it was a huge takeaway, and the ladies were really able to prep a lot better for the retreat. We were able to prep a lot better, and we're already giving, I don't want to say homework, but sort of homework on things that they need to start working on prior to the retreat. So the amount of motivation, right? The amount of momentum that is already felt immediately as soon as you are registering is nothing that you have to wait for. You're not having to wait until April to start to feel some momentum.
Yeah. And so will you scroll down to the Black Friday bonuses? So that's what you get when you register, whenever you register. But we also have a Black Friday bonus bundle and I want to highlight this because of what we're talking about right now, that you don't have to wait until April. So when you register between now and Black Friday, not only do you get $200 off registration, and by the way, we broke registration payments up into 4 payments because we get it. We understand. I mean, that always makes things more accessible to me. Can I do it in a payment plan with that? Great, let's do it. And then you'll get $200 off as well. So that's the first thing. But you'll get to schedule the opportunity to do a podcast just like this with Sabrina. You get to be right here onto all the platforms where Sabrina's talk show is visible and it's highlighting you and your business and what you do and who you help and how you help them. It is an incredible opportunity. So that's the first thing. Or I guess it's the second. You get $200 off, then you get to schedule a podcast interview. And all of this can happen before the retreat even happens.
Yeah.
You're seeing momentum. You get to do an Instagram live with me, which is similar. You're then in front of my audience. You're sharing about your business. You're sharing who you help and how you help them. You're sharing the story of why you started your business. You also get an individualized Instagram profile audit from me. So I will put my eyes on your profile and say, here are the things you need to update and change in order to be more visible, in order to be found, in order to be attractive and appealing with what you're putting out there. And then you're also going to get 2 downloads that you can start to use right away. So Sabrina has put these 2 together. So the 50 follow-up moves to boost your sales and connections, and how to create your high impact speaker sheet. So again, this is more than just you'll show up in April and we'll spew information at you. The goal here is to give you guidance strategically starting as soon as you register, so that you can start to see momentum now to finish out this year, and start the new year strong. I will say the feedback we got from most of the women was, I wish I had registered sooner.
Totally.
Like I should have registered sooner because I got so much value from what there was to offer.
Yeah.
And one Steph, who's in this picture right here, I think it was Steph, wasn't it, who told Sabrina, like, you guys should have charged more. Like, this was so incredible. You literally should have charged more.
Yeah.
Which,
which the prices stayed the same.
Yeah. we kept the price the same because we also know what it's like to be in business and need the investment, and also be in a real place where you're like, I'm growing and I need it. And also, how can I make it happen?
Yeah. And also, I want to showcase these action shots that Emily has up here. This is all part of the professional photographer. So Emily has a close connection up there in Georgia. She's bringing in a professional photographer in that are going to take some really wonderful, here's some more down here. Look at all these. Some wonderful photos. And these are all photos that you're going to have access to, that you'll be able to use on your own social, on your own content, on your own websites, to be able to, create some beautiful looking posts for yourself.
Yes. And there were so many, I don't even know. There were so many photos, and we're seeing the women that came to the retreat using them in all different ways.
Yep.
Across platforms where you can use visuals. Yeah. And you'll be able to use all of those, plus whatever pictures. We also will create a Google Drive for all the pictures that we all take together, and videos, so that you can use videos. So like Sabrina took a lot of videos of me teaching that I use in my social, in my Instagram creation. And I did the same videos I took of her or of the other women. And then we shared all of that with one another, so that you can use not just still images, but also videos, for your business. The goal here is to give you all the tools, the strategies, the community, the connection, the support. I mean, it is really all inclusive in so many ways, not just like once you show up, everything is taken care of, but also we're like wrapping you with all of these things that are required for sustainable, successful business growth.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing that I kind of want to just kind of add on here as we're closing up, with being able to break the payment into 4, with the $200 off registration, if you register before November 28th, you can literally reserve your spot for like $350.
Yep.
$350. So nothing that's going to break the bank to be able to jumpstart you towards getting this on the books, on the calendar, and to get you here,
And the other piece of that, if you're like, okay, I hear that. If you start to implement the things that we will work on in our pre-retreat call, the homework we will give you, you use these resources that you'll get in the Black Friday bonus bundle, you will start to bring new clients in
before you even
place of stagnation right now. And that will help to, that increases your income, which also helps you to pay for the retreat.
Yeah.
So it's also worth saying in case somebody doesn't know, but like, this is a business, right? This is a tax deduction. This is a personal growth and development tax deduction. So like the money you would spend to travel, the registration, all of that is a business expense that is a tax write-off. Which is an important thing to keep in mind, because that's something that you get the benefit of that from the tax deduction end, that I think we don't talk about enough. And God, hopefully that is one thing I also, one of the sessions at the retreat, which we realized we needed to include after we did the 2-on-1 calls, was like organization apps that you use. So I also will show you while we're there the app that I use to keep track of all my business expenses, which is not QuickBooks. If you're using QuickBooks and that's the right fit for you, I'm just saying, I use a different app that keeps track of everything, so I don't have to keep receipts. So we walk you through all of that too, like how to incorporate some organization into what you're doing in the back end of your business in all sorts of different ways. There's just so much. We packed so much into this 4-day, 3-night retreat, because we want you to leave a little overwhelmed in a good way.
Yeah.
Like overwhelmed, like, holy cow, I feel like I just got served a 5-course meal, and I'm going to take it one step at a time to really absorb all the goodness.
Yeah, absolutely. We're super excited. And, Emily and I have already put the investment in. We're already ready to go. We're fully committed. We're dedicated to your growth, your potential, catapulting your business forward. But you have to come the other 50%. You got to make that commitment. You got to get on the link, scroll, read, see if it's a good fit, and purchase. And as soon as you hit that purchase link, your payments are already broken up into 4. The $200 is already coming off. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to ask any questions. You don't have to contact us. You don't have to DM us, nothing. Right there on the spot, you can purchase it, get it on your calendar, be ready to go, take a breath of fresh air. And, all these things that are promised to you will start hitting your email box. You can set up your call, get your PDFs rolling, and start to take action immediately as soon as you pay.
I guess the last thing I want to say about that, and maybe this wraps us up, is coaches need coaches.
Absolutely.
Sabrina has coaches. I have coaches. I'm not doing all this by myself. I am learning while I am doing.
Yeah.
And if you're not willing to invest in a coach for yourself to learn more than what you know right now, and did I forget anything? Anything else we should say?
No, absolutely perfect. Love it. This was absolutely fantastic. Thank you, ladies, for being here. We so appreciate it. Hope you got some awesome value regarding Emily. I know I took a 1.5 pages of notes of all the goodness that she shared. So if you're just jumping on now, I see a couple of you jumping on right now. Make sure you rewatch this video. Emily gave some amazing pointers on 3 factors for growth on Instagram heading into 2026, along with giving you some insight on the retreat that Emily and I are going to be hosting in Georgia, April 2026. So follow both of us, Emily Tosoni on Instagram, and myself, Sabrina Victoria TV, and we will catch you on the flip side. Adios.
Thanks, friend.